see, this will what will happen is the flow will be interrupted. Just try to make sure that if people are not dropping off. Okay. Going back to this, so we were discussing lookup rows.
No, row count and data extension row count.
Okay, and once okay, Lakshmi, right? What is the difference between row count and the data extension count? So here in the row count, the parameter that I'm passing, okay, is a data set, and in the data extension count, I'm passing the data extension name. This is the difference.
But are they returning the same value?
No, see, I'm doing a lookup, right? I'm doing a lookup rows, and I'm using a filter.
Filter, yeah, right.
And based on this filter, if this filter, let's say it for this, I think I have here values. Okay, so for men, I have only kept 2 rows, right? One black hoodie. So this is going now here. If I do say this lookup rows, but if I do data extension count with the data extension, right, it might return you 13 records, including all the genders and all the rows. Now, after this, if is greater than 1 for the, if I have products for the male, okay, then if this is greater than 1, then I'm going to run the for loop. And from this for loop, once this value is set, okay, now here I'm assigning the row. Okay, the row is here, the first row, basically I, assigning I. So first iteration, it will be 1. And now what I'm doing here, see, I haven't ended this next I. Next I is below here. Now with this one, I'm assigning the product number, product name. Okay, number is I. So the output, yeah, it will be. So this will be first will be row Prasad. Then we are saying this one. We are launching this products and blah blah blah. This is in the paragraph. Okay. So here. And then this product number, first is the product number. Okay, it's in bold. Again here, the product number 1. Okay, and then all the details like initially what we did, right? So here I'm using field function. Okay, from row 1, bring the product name.
Yeah.
Then all the description for that particular row. Now once this is done, everything is written, product name and all this one. Okay, say product name, product currency, and I'm not going in details now. Okay, in every line. So everything's written. Then I have this somewhere. I have insert a BR break. Break the line. Now for the second, if it's returning 2, because it will return 2 for me, right? So it will be this one. This is how it will be displayed in the email. Clear?
Got you. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, see, here you're only bringing 1 row. No matter, it will not going to bring you multiple rows because you're using lookup. If you want multiple rows, then you need to use lookup rows. Difference between lookup and lookup rows. Okay, but functionality wise is the same. Now here you're basically doing products, then filter. You can add another filter. Okay, so if I have to say.
So if you use lookup rows, you need not use I for loop.
For which one?
Lookup rows.
Lookup rows I. Come again?
Now, if you use lookup, it will fetch you row by row, like individual rows, right?
Lookup.
What if you use lookup rows instead of lookup?
Just a minute.
Hmm.
So you're discussing lookup or lookup rows.
Hmm.
Come again with your question. Explain me your question once again.
Maybe I was a bit confused here. Like when you try to assign lookup of something, right? Look, when you are using lookup function, you have to use that for loop if that number of rows is greater than 0, right?
For lookup, you don't have to use for loop. It is only going to return you one row, right? Is first lookup is returning you only that attribute. Yeah, when I'm doing lookup to the product name, it's returning me the product name. Only one line.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Only one attribute value.
Yeah,
Right.
because you have to specify which value to return.
Hmm.
From the product name, return that name where the product ID is 1.
Okay.
Right? Even if you, let's say, if I say this one as gender, and I say this one as gender, so yeah, I haven't specified the
Yeah, that's
gender.
okay. Don't change your code. That's okay.
No, that's okay. See, first you people have to understand.
Yeah, I got it now.
For me, this code is 1 minute change.
I know. I know.
So if I say this gender, okay, and if I say this as a gender, so by default, it is going to bring you the first, if I have 2 rows for men, right? It is going to bring the first row. And from the first row, it's going to pick up the product name.
Okay.
Now, if I use lookup here, if I use lookup rows, right? And I say gender equals to men, here it is going to return you 2 rows. And here it is returning you a data set like 2 rows, right?
Complete record.
Yeah, it is only by default it's fetching you the first one. So you're doing the assignment here itself.
Okay.
Here I'm not doing the assignment. What I'm doing is in real time I'm looping through that data set. Okay, that is rows here which I have returned. I'm looping through this, and from there I'm going to parse every row. Okay, using for loop. And here I'm using the field row. So first row, from the first row, here this is the first row, right? And from there I'm printing the values using same, see, proper case, format currency, format date, lower, and print. Understood?
Yeah.
Now if you want to add another filter, this gender, right? Now if I have to add another filter, say season. Now here I'm simply going to add season. Okay, so it is going to filter based on the season. So for men, okay, bring me all the products for the season winter.
Okay. So you need to define that variable also, right?
Yeah. So you have
okay, we have it.
It is already defined.
So you can bring it. I have hard coded here. You can bring it from the attribute also if you have storing in the attribute for the subscriber. If his favorite season is winter, that we have discussed session 1.
Okay. 2.
1, 2. Yeah. For me, every day is a new one, so I forget which session.
Yeah.
So okay. So this is lookup rows. Now you see. Now also I have seen. I didn't say this one. Okay. So here I said also I added one more line saying that number of products available. Okay. So number of product available is the row count of that particular rows. So if this particular function based on gender and season, if it returns true, it will say number of products available equals to 2. So out of this, it will also return another line at the end. Okay, here it's saying number of available products 2. I'm printing this as well. Now, what if it returns say 100 of rows? Right? You're not going to, basically you should not print, okay, to the 100 of rows. So you can make this one as complex. If the row count is greater than 4, you in the email you don't want to print 100 of rows, right? So best thing is if you'll do the validation if this is greater than 4, right? And you simply change it to 4. So
Yeah.
you try yourself if that is the case, and then what you can do is the very value added proposition is just to show a limited number, say 2 or 3. And then what you can have is you can have a link like say view more products, right? And you can have a link, a CTA button, okay, a link that will map it to the cloud page. And if they click on the cloud page, the same view will be shown, can be shown in the HTML in the cloud page with all the products, right? Instead of showing them all the products in the email, you can utilize cloud pages. We'll discuss in some other session